Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
MDOT says the noise being generated by I-75 is at acceptable levels.
We would not give up. It's our lives, it's our kids' lives.
But homeowners who turned out in force tonight in Troy disagree. After I-75 in Troy underwent a makeover, people who live near the freeway say the improvements have made their lives a misery. Thanks for being with us. I'm Kimberly Gill.
I'm Devin Skillian. They say the traffic noise has increased to the point that they feel like now they are on the freeway. Mara McDonald live in Troy tonight. The upgrades to 75 required, we had a lot of trees coming down. They had to raise the freeway. It was a lot, Mara.
It was a lot, Devin, and to put this into context for everybody, we're on Square Lake Road. We're just east of I-75 right now. There are a ton of subdivisions that line this entire stretch. It is 11 o'clock at night. This certainly isn't a high volume traffic time, but take a listen to what it sounds like if you live here right now. Neighbors say if they open their windows at night, it's like you're right on the freeway. Neighbors crowding into the Troy Community Center to hear MDOT give the results of a noise study.
What we want to do, though, is be forthright. We want to be transparent in the fact of talking about how the study took place, what we did to, work the study, how we took the measurements.
Bottom line, after the results were released, the study finds the decibel levels to be acceptable.
I trusted MDOT to say they will look at our interest in the whole process. What I'm finding out now is that was just to sort of quiet us down.
Neighbors in one sub had so little faith in this study, they commissioned their own.
They put sensors, multiple sensors, about 30 of them in our subdivision.
The results?
And at some point, our decibel level had gone to 90. The OSHA requires at 80, you should be putting headphones on.
Neighbor after neighbor telling the same story. Prior to the 75 modernization effort, the traffic noise was negligible. Now?
I could tell you when truckers were shifting gears. You could hear the motorcycles revving by, the sports car. When someone hits a rumble strip, your teeth vibrate.
Back here alive, MDOT has put up some soundproofing walls. It has also replanted trees. The point of these neighbors is it simply is too little to combat the problem. But with this noise study, it essentially says there's no money in MDOT to add any more. So what can neighbors do? Well, at this point, try and appeal to their state legislators to see if they can come up with some sort of an appropriation. We're live in Troy tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Yeah, all right, Mara.
A home in Highland Park is becoming a magnet for out-of-control drivers that keep plowing through a privacy fence. It's been hit more than 10 times. As our Pamela Osborne shows us, the latest crash sent another vehicle plowing through it.
We, of course, wanted to be there at the house to show you some of the damage to that fence, but there were a couple of big dogs in the yard who weren't exactly happy to see us, which is understandable after the day they had Tuesday, with yet another vehicle coming into their yard and crashing on their property.
They used to hit the house, and then I put the fence up, so now they're tearing down the fence, and they've torn down the fence 3 times in 90 days.
We were at Isabella Gaddy's house last June. That was the damage then. This is now.
He said, man, they ran through your fence, and I go back there and I see the cars in the backyard.
Miss Gaddy's Highland Park home sits at the corner of John R. and the Davison Service Drive. Tuesday afternoon, her fence was hit again.
I don't know why they won't let her put up some type of barricades right here, because every time they have an accident, they seem to find our backyard. The car always end up in our backyard.
Her son, William Dozier, says it's dangerous to be in the yard.
But the last time, they hit my mother the last time.
That incident is still being sorted out. Meantime, they're waiting to see if the drivers involved in this crash had insurance, as they worry about their insurance company, which has had to foot the bill more than once, dropping them.
And if you're in the backyard, you're trying to hurry up and do what you're doing and get out the backyard, because I don't know what's going to come through the fence next.
If there is one good thing about all of this, it's that Miss Gaddy was out of town visiting a relative in Florida.
Glad she wasn't here, because it's a nice day and she would have been out there in the backyard.
Reporting in Highland Park, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
Glad she was gone. All right, Pam. 4 accusers stepping forward today testifying against a local hockey doctor accused of sexually abusing young athletes.
The accusers met Zvi Levran through youth hockey organizations in high school. The alleged sexual abuse began when they were young adults seeking medical treatment for injuries or various ailments. Today's allegations included those of inappropriate touching and unnecessary prostate exams.
When that started happening, I was kind of in shock. I couldn't really believe that he was touching it like that.
Levran pleaded not guilty to all 31 counts of sexual abuse. His bond, though, right now set at $3 million. New at 11, dash cam video shows Dearborn police catching car theft suspects. It happened around 2 this morning in the area of Michigan and Charles. Troopers tried to stop the car, but the driver took off. Police were able to stop the car in a nearby neighborhood later, but investigators say the suspects then took off, even though they were then again arrested a short time later.
The man accused of calling in a threat to an East Point school is facing terrorism charges. Prosecutors say 29-year-old Desmond Parks called Forest Park Elementary and made the threat. Sky 4 was over the school yesterday morning as the school was placed in lockdown. No children were hurt. Classes were closed for the day. Parks is being held on $1 million bond.
We're getting an update tonight on Paul Whelan, who, of course, remains detained in Russia on espionage charges. The Novi native spoke with family members on Monday for the first time in nearly 2 weeks. Whelan was told about Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich's arrest in Russia on espionage charges. Paul's brother David says he hopes both cases get equal attention from the U.S. government.
I think they are both American citizens, and they both deserve the full weight of the U.S. government behind them, regardless of what their profession is. Regardless of how they ended up in this situation. They've been labeled wrongfully detained. They've been charged with the same crimes, and I think they deserve the same treatment.
Whelan is serving a 16-year prison sentence on the spying accusations.
Hundreds of thousands of Michiganders may have their criminal records wiped clean. The state launched its new automatic expungement program today. It's part of a law enacted back in 2020. Software will search the state's criminal database system daily and automatically expunge some convictions. There are qualifications to be eligible based on how much time has lapsed since sentencing. The state estimates this will help 1 million people, 400,000 today alone.
Well, I think it's a great idea because there's a lot of people like me that many years ago got in trouble for whatever reason, youthful offenders, that they are condemned to this for the rest of their lives.
People who think they qualify can check the internet database to see their public record. There is, though, a $10 fee. The White House getting ready to fast-track the adoption of electric vehicles.
EPA preparing to release strict new vehicle emission standards as early as tomorrow. These proposed rule changes, if implemented, would require 2/3 of all new passenger vehicles sold in the U.S. to be electric by 2032. Currently, less than 6% of vehicles sold in the U.S. are electrics. Automakers already, though, investing billions to make the transition from gas to EV.
The quicker we can bring everyone along to EVs, the better it's going to be for climate.
There are a lot of things that have to happen to get us to a full EV culture.
Federal government not the only one trying to make changes. California regulators voted last year to ban the sale of new gasoline-powered cars by 2035 and set interim targets to phase out those vehicles.